Hey guys, Joshua Peterson here with Peterson Electric. Wanted to talk to you today about aluminum pigtail copper splicing. Thing that you're going to have to make sure that you do when you go into here, you have to look at your manufacturer's spec, and it talks about your inch pounds that you have to do for your size of wire. Most of your circuits that are aluminum in a home most likely would be a 12 gauge for the aluminum. So when you put on your aluminum pigtail bars, you'll go in here and you'll see that there's a spec rating here and there's an inch pound. And when you go to your inch pound, that's going to tell you when it needs to stop. Now I've been doing this for close to about 13 years on my own, and you can get a feel for it. But the new 2017 code, when I talked to one of my inspectors here, I think it was in Westminster, they said that they're probably going to make you start going to a torque pound setting on this. I got this online. This was $125, $100. It's a pretty expensive tool, but it's a really good tool. It's going to be able to set your max and your minimum for your inch pounds and foot pounds, and it comes with a bunch of different bits in here. So you want to keep attention to that as you go in and set their setting on these pigtail copper splices. Now if you go to a generic twist cap, which a lot of insurance companies are actually saying that you cannot do this. I only say these for certain types inside of a wall that I have to get to or put it on a neutral. These are UL listed, and they are good for aluminum pigtail copper splicing as well. But again, a lot of your manufacturers are not allowing that. So to be a space saver, we also do the 2 ports. So your 2 ports you're going to use most likely at the end of a circuit. Your 3-ways, your single poles, your 4-ways, your GFCI situations. These are a really good application. They're space saver. Your 3 ports are going to be more used for in and out of daisy chaining out of your plugs. Fairly pricey, these are going to be closer to a latte, and these are going to be a little bit of a smaller latte, but they are a little pricey. Interesting enough, the 2 ports cost me more than a 3 port. You're not going to find these at your big box stores. This is something that the wholesaler sells to the contractors. But again, a lot of insurance companies are approving this. So again, it's not just your city, your jurisdiction, your county. It's also based on what your insurance is. So when I sell these jobs to people, we talk to them about the fact that they may need to make sure they check with them. The other thing is that, with your plugs and your switches, with a car, you see it age, and so you see how many miles is on your car. You also see the fact that the car has a lot of rust and a lot of mechanical issues and a lot of maintenance fees that are starting to head. So as a car ages by its years or mileage, you're going to know, should I change it out or not? Well, you're not going to be able to do that with a plug. There's nothing on a plug that really says how long have I been used, how many families have been in this home, which families had more kids that used items than others. Sometimes the way to know is that you put in a 2-prong situation like a charger on your phone and it keeps falling out. Well, that's a good indicator that the inside prongs are bad. But in an aluminum home in the late 60s, early 70s, how do you know you have aluminum? Well, that's pretty straightforward. You can go inside your panel and see. The common sense is that you got silver versus gold. These are your difference of your precious metals. So again, this is something that you want to be attentive to make sure that your home has a healthy maintenance done to it. And if you're not getting that done, you need to start saving towards doing that if you're going to stay in that home. Sometimes when you sell your home, they're actually enforcing that this is done before you sell it. So I had a home actually in Fort Collins that I did this last June, and in the contract it actually stated that they wanted all of the pigtail copper splicing done, and they wanted it done to current code. And the city decided that they said, well, we're going to follow Article 406.6, 406.12, where if you're going to do this, you need to make sure the outlets are tamper-proof, they're WR rated, 210.8, that they're GFCI'd, and now also in that 406.6 that they're expecting that your plugs are now going to be AFCI'd the minute you change them. Not a lot of companies out yet that are doing AFCI protection inside of the wall for just the plug. I know Leventon makes it. I know Pass and Seymour is about to start. I'm not sure about Hubble. Personally, I don't really use a lot of Cooper. So there's other brands out there people use, but the bottom line is we did AFCI this whole panel, and I showed you a video on that just last week. But AFCI, GFCI, dual breaker systems. So we did do the whole entire house, everything's set. So now that all that was done, the panel change out and the AFCIs are implemented, we're going to install all the plugs now. And when we do that, we're able to make sure that we're getting that back in there correctly. And if there's anything that's tripping, we know it wasn't pre-existing. We know it's something maybe we did as we were putting it back in the wall. So again, guys, there's a lot more that goes to this. They're not really inexpensive jobs, that's for sure, because of the parts and the time. But here's the most important thing about it. It's cheaper than rewiring your whole house, because otherwise the other option is to either sell and somebody else has to deal with it, which is not really the best thing. But the home inspectors are catching that. Or the other option is just to rewire your whole house. So this is one of your best methods. But again, if you have any questions, give us a call. In your local area, please call a professional. Again, we're registered out of Colorado, Northern Colorado, and we do some Denver stuff as well. But you want to make sure that you're using somebody in your local jurisdiction. All right, thanks.